What's up, Shed fam? I'm AK.
And I'm Brittany, a health coach here at Shed, and today we're making 3 of my favorite simple fall pumpkin recipes. We have pumpkin cookies, pumpkin protein balls, and a pumpkin protein smoothie. These recipes are very, very simple, just adding everything into a bowl, mixing together. And they also have better for you ingredients like oat flour, almond butter, protein powder, and maple syrup.
First off, we're gonna combine our pumpkin puree.
Pumpkin puree is one of my favorite things to cook with in the fall because it's a vegetable first and foremost. So obviously lots of great seasonal nutrients in there. It's also typically canned, so you can just buy it off of the shelf, uncan it, toss it in whatever you're making, and it gives that pumpkin flavor to whatever. I throw it in yogurt, I throw it in oatmeal, cookies, so many different things.
Now we're gonna add in our oats. It's pure maple syrup.
Okay, I was so excited when we were using pure maple syrup in this recipe. Pure maple syrup is a natural sweetener, so a lot of times fall goodies have artificial sweeteners or refined sugars. Pure maple syrup gives that yummy, delicious maple taste to those fall recipes while also having nutritional benefits. So it's loaded with antioxidants and other nutrients that are so good for your body while also sweetening the recipe.
Now we're gonna add in our sugar-free chocolate chips.
So with chocolate chips, they're amazing to put into recipes like this, but we want to be careful of added sugar. So that's why I love the options that are now available to us these days, sugar-free chocolate chips. So that's what we're putting into this recipe. Perfect.
And then we're gonna add in all of our spices.
This is also the best part. It will give it so much flavor. Spices are so good for the body as well. We're adding cinnamon, pumpkin pie spice, which has a blend of different things like ginger and nutmeg. So a lot of different nutrients, fibers, all the good stuff in this recipe.
Then 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So excited to try them. Let's transfer these cookies onto a baking sheet and put them in the oven.
Let's make our protein pumpkin balls. This is one of my favorite snacks for fall. It has a lot of good ingredients here too, and they're so easy to make. You just throw everything into the bowl and then you round them into balls, put them in the fridge, and I love snacking on them, whether it's a sweet treat after your lunch or a little dessert at night. They're a really healthy and fulfilling snack for fall.
So I have a question. So when I make a lot of these treats, I've attended eating them all at the same time, or I overeat them. What are some mindfulness tips you have for making treats like this during the holiday season?
So my best tip for being able to eat these within moderation is this idea of mindful eating. And so as you're smelling the pumpkin puree, the nut butter, the maple syrup, and adding them all into the bowl, I love to really just take that all in, right? Be so mindful. It's almost like how we think of meditation, and we sit and we're present and we hear the sounds around us and the smells around us and we think about our day. It's very similar when we're cooking, even if it is healthy things. We want to think about the nourishment that it's giving our bodies as opposed to, oh, this is a sweet treat and I need to eat as much as I simply can. So I scoop a nice big chunk into my hand and kind of just shape them into a ball and then set them down on the plate. Protein, we added protein powder to this, which is a really easy hack to add more protein or make anything high protein. Just add a couple scoops of protein powder. It can be tricky with nut butters because they tend to sneak in added sugars, so you just want to pay attention to that. And you can do that by reading the ingredient label or the nutrition label to make sure that the only ingredient is peanut, and making sure that the added sugar value is at 0. I would definitely recommend storing in the refrigerator.
They're actually really good.
A lot of spices, there's texture to it with the oats.
This is the best thing that's happened to me all week. We're now gonna make our protein pumpkin smoothie. We're just gonna combine all of our ingredients into a blender and blend it up.
First, we're adding in our milk. I'm using 2% milk, just regular milk here. I like 2% milk because it's lower in fat content, but it still has a higher protein content. If you're lactose intolerant, if you're plant-based, oat milk or almond milk is also a great option. We're adding protein powder and cinnamon and pumpkin pie spice for the flavoring, and also, again, to hide in some extra protein into this smoothie.
We're now gonna add in our pumpkin puree and our almond butter. We're now gonna add our banana.
So banana I love putting into any fall treat, but especially smoothies. It gives it that natural sweetness while also giving it fiber and all the potassium and nutrients that we know are in bananas.
And don't forget your ice. It tastes really good. You even taste the protein.
So a pro tip here with holiday baking or any sort of baking is to save things, to store things in the freezer, and to share with people, right? It's the holidays. It's so awesome to be able to pack some of these up, take them to a neighbor, take them to a family member's house, and share some of the fall goodness. Okay, let's try these. These look amazing. I'm such a texture person, so these are so good. They're like doughy in a way, but also light.
I like the oats and the chocolate chips.
Very hearty. And you can taste the fall flavor for sure in these. I think the pumpkin pie spice is definitely an essential to this recipe. Another mindful eating tip while baking is, I know it's so easy to eat while you're baking, especially when things taste so good like this, but one thing is to be mindful in those situations and to kind of pay attention to how much you're consuming. It's fine to taste here and there, right? To make sure the recipe is good, the spices are good, but make sure not to overdo it when tasting during baking. Save it for the rest of the week to consume in moderation throughout the week.
Thanks, Shed Fam, for joining. See you next time.